I feel like we've been talking about No Jumper a lot for the past couple of weeks. Forgive me, but there is a lot going on at the No Jumper studios right now. On another note, the Joe Budden Network just had a phone call, and the person that called in was AD. AD used to work for No Jumper. For anybody living under a rock, a bunch of people already left from No Jumper, and AD was one of those people. AD was looked at as like one of those guys that was carrying the brand. A lot of people look at AD as the guy that kind of like revitalized the brand. When he and T-Rail joined, like it was like a whole nother chapter or era of No Jumper. I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. But anyway, AD calls into the Joe Budden Network to describe how it was working for Adam22. Apparently there were a lot of power trips. I'm not surprised. Without further ado, let's get on with the video.
Ice.
All right, what's going on? What's going on, bro? This is
my guy.
I'm calling you live on the air. For those listening,
we live.
We live. This is AD, who was formerly of No Jumper.
Yes, sir.
So we were just discussing what happened over there, and I said I wanted to give you a call so you could, give your side out there, and you could tell us what really went down.
Yeah, I was listening to Joe yesterday too. He was cooking.
Thank you, man. I was on his ass.
He was slow roasted, man.
Mm-hmm.
On the side note, I haven't watched the Joe Budden show in a long time, but Joe looks a lot more chill.
Oh, you went out?
Nah, I mean, where should we start? It was a lot of. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. Adam, he has a real big problem with accountability. You know what I'm saying? I looked at him as a friend outside of the business. I had his back, and I feel like a lot of the reason why I was hired in the first place was, he knew my street connection.
That honestly might be like the number one critique I've seen of Adam in any of his comments or his apology videos. Adam22 has always lacked accountability. He never wants to own up to anything. He deflects. He's a master deflector. I mean, come on. Sound like a hater right now, but it's true. Let's continue.
And he kind of leaned on that, and it ended up turning into like a business relationship when he seen how many people in his audience took to me. Mm-hmm. And and as time went by, as I was growing, he pushed me to start streaming. He pushed me to start doing different endeavors. And once it started, becoming successful, I felt like he kind of, started looking at me a little different. And yeah, man, then the power tripping started happening, and once you playing with the guy's livelihood and that, like
the fact that the power tripping came on after AD found success in his own avenues through community clips and everything else that he had going on the side, that kind of makes me believe that Adam22, when he was pushing AD to start streaming and stuff, I think Adam thought it wouldn't go anywhere for AD. But when AD started popping off, Adam felt threatened. So the power tripping starts, and I'm not surprised, but let's go.
Sitting there looking at like, all right, look, we got to make sure that we straight just in case. And, luckily we started our own brands that were thriving, and, certain deals was coming our way and everything like that, because in a situation like this, if we was dependent on everything, man, it's like our livelihood would have been cut off. Water would have been cut off just off the, it's like you get a toy, you don't want to play with the toy no more. So I'm about to go do this over here now. And, to break it down, that's kind of like basically what it was.
That's crazy. That's what I said, though. I said basically he gets the opportunity to just cut the culture off at his leisure.
Right.
And then he just said, yo, when you get a new toy, you don't feel like playing with the toy no more. You put it down and go get another toy.
Hey, D, you got any examples of this power tripping that you think was going on over there?
Yeah, it was all right. So for instance, when the house phone situation happened, he was getting a lot of like backlash for it, and we was telling him privately like, hey, you're wrong for this, and then we went publicly on the show that we got, and we was telling him like, hey, no, we don't with that. And I guess he was like, super stressed out about everything, and we was on his ass about it. And he was just like, "Hey, I'm thinking about cutting all the shows off." We like, "What you mean cutting all the shows off?"
That to me sounds like a threat. Like, hey, keep your mouth shut. I don't think Adam really, Adam did not like the fact that AD went on his own platform, Community Clips, to voice his own opinion. And I feel like as a man, you're allowed to voice your opinion. And the fact that Adam wanted to silence that narrative tells me a lot. I'm not surprised there were power trips. I'm not surprised that he wanted to control the narrative. I mean, they own the No Jumper subreddit so that they could control the narrative on there. So Adam is real hands-on when it comes to the narrative of No Jumper. And God forbid one of his employees talks about their complaints on their own platform, right? This is nuts. And I've seen another clip from a channel called Point and Shoot about how Adam went on a little power trip in the interview. I might play the clip here, but he was like, "No, this is my podcast." He had to put his foot down, like power tripping. But hey, some would argue the boss is the boss, right? But let's continue.
He was like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know about doing this no more. And, I feel like cutting this." And we like, "You just gonna cut everything off because the heat is on you?" But when the heat is on one of us, like, it's all cool. It's all fair game. Like, we like, shit like that.
Have you spoke to him since though?
I spoke to him. Yeah. I mean, like, look, I'm gonna keep it real. Just off the fact that, what I'm saying, he put me in the game. He showed me a new way, man. I'm able to take care of my family and do something differently. Like, I ain't got no bad blood. Like,
Look at that real nigga sentiment that some other people out there clearly are lacking.
Searching for a reliable used SUV? Shop the area's.
Yeah, shout out to AD for remembering who gave him the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't wish no bad on him. You feel me? If he needs me, I'm still here. He could call me and talk to me and stuff like that. Like, I'm cool. It's just,
just it is what it is.
Yeah. Was the interview with the dude and all the stuff that surrounded that like the straw that broke the camel's back?
Oh, Richard Spencer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like the timing of everything, and the timing of everything was just crazy to me. So,
what was the timing? Well, like, what was the link between that and what transpired?
Yeah, I've talked about the Richard Spencer or the interview that he did with him. And some people did comment like, "Oh yeah, Adam should have been more, mindful because he has a lot of black employees." And I also did notice that Adam tried to argue that he was just trying to debate him, but he didn't have anybody of color on that platform while he was on to, counter some of Richard Spencer's talking points or whatever it was. And it didn't feel like Adam was just trying to debate him. It just seems like he wanted content for the clicks, the shock factor, right? Where I found it a little strange, not strange, but just, I just thought this was kind of important to bring up. Long time ago, Jerry Springer had on like the Ku Klux Klan members or something. And I don't think anybody complained about that, but I get it. Adam has black employees. I just found, it was kind of like similar. But anyway, let's continue.
A week. Literally a week. So I wasn't familiar with at the time, I wasn't familiar with like Nick Fuentes like that. And it was discussed that he was gonna come on the platform and everything. Somebody suggested that, hey, I'll be in on an interview. And I thought, like, what I'm saying, I can just talk and, try to get the issues out and stuff like that. And I didn't think I did a good job when it came down to the interview because I felt like kind of that was above what the research that I didn't even do. And once that happened, man, I just felt like I let my people down. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? If anybody like that comes on the platform, I'm gonna do my due diligence and make sure that I take out the time to get the facts right and be able to, like, properly debate them. And once Richard Spencer came over there, I think Adam tried to like pay Van Lathan to sit with him, and Van was like, "I ain't sitting with him." And I know people suggested other people to sit with him, and like he didn't want me to sit in there. He didn't want other people to sit in there on the platform. And once I seen it, a lot of people was calling me, Van included, was like, "Hey, what's up with this? You got 3 white guys. You got 2."
That's what I meant. Like, there was nobody to counter any of his arguments or anything. And Adam was trying to say that it was a debate, but really it just sounded like a conversation for the, for the views, or I don't know what it was. But, long story short, that's pretty much the entire situation. All in all, I'm pretty glad that everybody like AD and T-Bro have left No Jumper. I mean, I could only imagine a toxic work environment. Excuse me. A toxic work environment is probably one of the worst things you have to deal with as an adult. And I'm not saying, I don't know just how toxic No Jumper was, but if Adam was threatening to cut off shows, all this, that, and the third, the power trips and all this, trying to control the narrative, it just sounds like a kind of like a stressful place to work, on top of all the controversies and the flack that the No Jumper staff had to deal with. So all in all, I think everybody going their separate ways was the best. Community Clips is blowing up. They've been killing it. So we'll see what we have in store in the future. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.